Hello everyone and welcome to What We Will Be Watching edition from What Do You Say Anime, Winter 2020. I am your host, Peter. Along with co-host Adam, we are here to provide you with what we will be watching for Winter 2020. Adam, it's been a while. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Oh man, I can't complain. Had a busy holidays. I'm glad to be off that train though. How was your Christmas break?
Well, I actually got sick during Christmas.
Oh, that's not good.
I think Sunday before, we had a family get together with my dad's cousins and stuff. We got to see a bunch of the side of the family. We really don't see very often. We just had small little get together, played some Christmas games and stuff. But I came home from that with a really bad cold, so I missed the day of work on Monday, and then ended up forcing myself to go in on Tuesday because I knew it was going to be an easy day, a short day. I couldn't afford to miss out on another day of pay.
Sure, I feel you on that one.
I've just been, for this whole week, I've been coughing stuff up and having a sore throat. I'm just starting to get over it now, so if I sound a little scratchy, it's that.
It seems like about 80% of the people around here are sick right now. I know a bunch of people from my work are off anyway, but a couple of them called in sick because of the flu bug that's going around here. Luckily, I haven't been caught by it, so I'm crossing my fingers to keep riding that high.
Yeah, I actually was listening to the news around the time I got sick, and I was hearing a whole bunch of kids were getting taken out of school because of it too. It was affecting all the kids in the elementary schools and stuff, which is just a plague was going around here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I saw some elementary school had 40% of the kids out from flu symptoms. So it's okay, everybody go get your flu shots because it's not a joke right now.
Yeah, it's been hitting people pretty hard, and I got lucky. It was only a couple days that it was really bad. The rest of it's just been kind of stuffy nose and stuff, which I can work through, but nothing terribly bad. Yeah. Besides that, actually, just over the weekend, it's Friday or something, I went and I had a shelf that I had bought for my anime collection, which if anyone's following me on Instagram and stuff, they've seen my stuff just kind of sits in the corner of my desk. And I haven't had a place for it, and it's been getting in the way. It's right next to my computer. So I went and got this stand, set that all up, got all my anime now behind me, looking nice on a shelf, which I'm pretty happy to have because I'm not a very hands-on person, hammers, nails, fixing stuff. That's not my type of thing. But I got this all put together, looking good, so I'm feeling accomplished there.
We had very similar trends because I experienced my first IKEA trip to go buy bookshelves for my Funko Pops.
Yes.
So then I got all my Funko Pops on a bookshelf, but I bought 2 of them, and so now I have an empty bookshelf that I need to fill with probably just a bunch of I'm gonna probably get better anime figurines for those ones because Funko Pops are silly and cheap and not as good as Nendroids because there's a whole debate about Funko Pops versus Nendroids. So
I am gonna fall strictly on the Nendroid
side. I completely understand.
But I like that they look a lot closer to the actual characters.
Yeah, and I get Funko Pops for silly gifts or something like that. I got some Attack on Titan Funko Pops for Christmas, so they're just easy gifts that people can give to me, and I ended up just getting started with 5, and now it's up to about 50-ish, I'd say, so I needed a place to put them. But if you're ever looking for bookshelves, IKEA, $20. Cannot recommend it enough.
I'll have to go and check that out too, because even this shelf was enough to get my anime on pretty much exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get, I just ordered My Love Story Collector's Edition from Right Stuff over the Christmas because it was $30 for the limited edition.
Yeah.
So I was going to add that, but I don't have a place on the shelf for it.
Oh,
because it's already full.
Dang.
So I'm already going to have to go get another.
Hey, like I said before, can't recommend IKEA enough. That store is unbelievable. I know I'm late to the party, but that store was that was an experience, let alone the great deals that they have. But other than anime, what have you been up to?
I mean, I've been gaming too. I've been putting a lot of hard time into the new Pokemon games.
Oh yeah, I've seen you stream it a few times.
Yeah, I've completed my Pokedex. I've been shiny hunting and helping other people with theirs. I've had a blast with that. I went and picked up Ring Fit Adventure too, because
never heard of that.
again. It's a Nintendo Switch game, It's a fitness game where you take the 2 Joy-Cons from the Switch and you attach it to like a fitness band or like your ankle
Okay.
or wrist, depending on like what workouts you're doing. And it's like an RPG, like an action RPG, but in order to do attacks, you have to do different fitness things and like different fitness workouts. And so your attack power and accuracy and stuff is all based on how accurately you perform the workouts. And I've been listening to a bunch of Game of the Year podcasts, and this is one of those games that everyone, like from Game Informer to like Kotaku and stuff, all like the video game companies and stuff are all talking about is like a sleeper hit that people are like really, they're not giving it a chance because it's a fitness game, but it does all the things you want in a fitness game, but is actually challenging and actually has a fun gameplay elements. So
no, that sounds really interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of a game that does something like that. The only thing I can think of is DDR.
Yeah.
For like fitness gaming.
There's some Xbox Connect games like UFC Ultimate Trainer and stuff that use the Kinect camera, but they always have really bad tracking. That's almost the biggest complaint with every fitness game is the tracking is off or the workout's chalk and cheese. And this is supposedly like you have to do the workout and it scales based on like how fit you are. Like you can set it up to be really hard, but if you're not in shape to do it, you won't be able to do it. And people like the people that are talking like actual fitness people are like, you know what? I'm surprised at just how much of a workout this really is. And they're coming back after each day at the office and like, I look forward to playing this. So I'm excited to see how it works. Whether when I jump back in at the beginning of the year, trying to get back into the fitness routine, I've been kind of slacking on my workout stuff since the holiday season has started.
No, I definitely feel you about the slacking off part. I weighed myself the other day and it was not good, so I am back on the old diet train.
Yeah, I put on about 5.5, 6 pounds lately, and I haven't weighed myself in the last week, so it could even be worse than that.
Oh, gotcha.
I need to get back on and dropping again because I'm not liking how my shirts are feeling tight again.
Yeah, same. Especially, I mean, we just started winter, but I definitely want to start prepping for when I can start wearing t-shirts normally again. So I'm definitely back on working out 5 days a week again, and hopefully I can.
Con season's coming up again.
Yeah, it's true.
If you want to
Speaking of con season.
Yep.
I am going to Anime Expo in July.
You are?
Yes, so if you are interested, July 2nd through the 5th in Los Angeles, California, at least I will be attending Anime Expo.
I'm not going to make promises right now, but that doesn't sound like something that sounds like something I could figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening, if you're going to Anime Expo, let me know. We can maybe grab a beer or something. That'll be real fun. All right, so how about we jump into anime, though? Exactly
what I was thinking.
All right, since it's SAO news, I think you should take the helm on that one.
All right, so jumping into our news section, SAO just finished up this last Saturday, and this next season we are getting a bit of a break from Sword Art Online. The next core is going to be airing April 2020. So if you're looking forward to more SAO, you got a bit of a wait.
I think we'll be talking about a little bit more about it on the next episode when we have our reviews from last season. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you say about SAO. And you won't hear anything about what I'm saying about SAO because everybody knows how I feel about it.
All right, next up on our news docket, Fire Force. The next core is going to be airing July 2020. So that one's another series along with Food Wars. This next season, season 5, is going to be airing April 2020 as well. So 3 of the shows that currently have going on are getting a little bit of a hiatus.
Yep, those are 2 shows that we will also be talking about in the next episode that I have some words for.
And I have nothing for. Next up on the news, I shaved and then I brought a high school girl home light novel. It's getting an anime adaptation. And I hadn't heard about this light novel and manga series until I wish I could remember
Like the Twitter
name
post?
There was a Twitter post on it that was talking about it, and I liked the cover art. So I went and I started reading it just to kind of get a grasp. I think it was at Orisuki. I did the same thing this last season, but I dove headfirst into this series, and I absolutely loved it. So the title, I shaved, and then I brought a high school girl home. It sends out a certain vibe, and it's completely the opposite of what you would expect. It sounds like it's going to be some raunchy series, and it's exactly what you would want in a very wholesome show.
Yeah, I really like, I mean, I'm just a big fan of like more adult romance animes, and where the protagonist is not in high school, just that sense, even though the girl is in high school, but at least one of the characters aren't.
And I'll say this, there's some romance between the two, but there's a very much a adult and responsible, mature look at relationships. Yeah. And that's what I think I like about it. The guy isn't trying to take advantage of anyone. He's genuinely like a really good guy who's down to earth and like just kind of speaks your word. Like, I'm not going to take advantage of a high school girl. I'm not going to I'm helping you out because you need help and it's the right thing to do. And that's it.
Yeah. Really looking forward to that one.
All right, Beastars is getting a second season, and we're going to be getting more news at a later date on that. Beastars that's the one you were watching this last season, correct?
Yeah, I'll tease it a little bit for next episode, but let's just say I'm very excited for season 2.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and as we'll talk about later on in this episode, it might be a show I end up picking up this next season.
I think you would love Beastars.
Yeah, I'm thinking I will too. That's why it's at the top of my list. I'll explain more about that later. And
that's one of those shows that's in Netflix jail, where it's only streaming on Netflix Japan, so we'll get it on Netflix next season. In March, we'll probably get Beastars on Netflix.
All right, well, I'll be looking forward to that. Do you have any... If you had to estimate, when do you think that second season would be coming? I think it's going to be 2020, 2021?
I think... I thought they said something about 2020. So if I had to take a guess, October 2020.
All right. So take a look at the end of the year, see if we're going to be getting that second season of Beastars, if that's something that sounds interesting to you.
I have to see if Studio Orange is doing anything in the coming months, because I don't think they have an anime this season. So I would have to do a triple take and see what's on their docket, because if they're not scheduled for a show this season, it might actually be sooner rather than later. But that's one of those things that I have to go back and double check.
Yeah, and I haven't heard any exact date. I just heard news to be announced later, so that's all I can really add to it.
Sure.
And finally, The Promised Neverland second season has been formally announced for October 2020. And that's another one that I want to really jump into because I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, that was one of the ones I sat on because I wanted to wait for it to be finished. So.
Okay. When we get around to the Anime of the Year awards, there will be a lot of Promised Neverland talk.
Okay, I'll have to finish it up then this week on it.
I'm kind of sad that it's going to be October 2020 since we got it earlier 2019, so that's an 18-month gap between airings. So kind of sad that it's going to be that long of a wait, but it's one of the most one of the shows I'm waiting for the most for 2020. And 2020 is absolutely stacked in terms of top tier shows. And that just adds to the list when it got announced the actual date.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. 2020 looks to be a wonderful year. But we have to start out with the first part of the year first. And to kind of give a little hint as to what to look forward to, we don't have a lot on our docket for this first season of 2020, do we?
Yeah, normally it's about on my plan to watch/watching list for when the season starts, it's about 20 animes. And this season it's probably, if you don't count movies, it's probably 10. There's the Made in Abyss sequel movie that is coming out that I'm very excited for, and then the Goblin Slayer movie, which I mean, I'm excited for it, but nothing compared to like how Made in Abyss is hyped for.
Yeah, and we have like Weathering with You coming out first part of the year. There's I guess this is a full-on series, the new the ReZero, like not reboot but like retelling or
no, we get season 2 of ReZero in 2020. Or are you talking about the movie?
Well, they have it's not a movie. The ReZero, well, there is a movie as well. But what I was talking about is this season we're getting a ReZero like retelling of the first season where they like take the episodes and like stitch them together into hour-long episodes with like some of the cut content added back in, like a remastering kind of.
I didn't know that was happening. I only knew about like the movie. I know they have like 3 OVAs. I don't know when they're coming out. I think 2 are out now, and then season 2 is coming later down the road in 2020.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not new content per se, besides like a small little bits of like cut stuff. It's basically just 1-hour episodes that they've put episodes back to back. So it's nothing new, but there's that, I guess.
Gotcha. I might rewatch the dub before season 2 comes out, but maybe if the remastered is dubbed, maybe I'll watch that version. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's getting a dub or not.
Sure.
But if you want to watch ReZero, that's another series that I have on the shelf right behind me.
Nice. Well, how about we jump into what we actually are watching in winter 2020?
Absolutely.
And the first one up is in one of our previous videos. I did top 10 anime of 2020. That's getting a sequel, and my number one choice was Haikyuu, season 4, and I cannot wait for this show. I absolutely love Haikyuu. Season 3 is my favorite arc in anime history. I think it's that good. Just how they portray the feelings on the court is nothing like I've ever seen in any sports anime. And as somebody who has played volleyball like competitively in the past, I can feel how like the players are feeling when they're winning or when they're losing or when they're rallying or when they get like a lucky break, that type of thing. And Haikyuu does all of that to a T, and it's one of the reasons why I absolutely love the show. It's taking place after the prefectural tournament, and I saw the PV for the beginning of like the first arc, because I'm assuming this is going to be 25 episodes, like season 1 and season 2, where I think it's Kageyama gets invited to a like national training camp, and Hinata does not. So it's more of like the struggle of Hinata still not getting acknowledged as a top tier volleyball player because of his height, and Kageyama is, he's like considered one of the best like volleyball players. He's like known as the king of the court. So it looks like we got like a first like right away drama arc of the two, more focused on like their relationship and rather than the actual volleyball. And then I think after that arc, it's going to transition into the national tournament because of how season 3 ended. And have you watched any of Haikyuu?
I started the first season and I need to continue with it. And that's probably the number one thing on my list, is to try to catch up. And I probably won't be able to catch up by the time these shows all start, but I want to at least like be able to watch the last half of this 4th season when it airs. Yes,
and I believe Netflix has the dub. So if anyone's interested in watching the dub version of it, I think it's only Netflix, and they have it. It's the first 2 seasons. So cannot recommend Haikyuu enough. Even if you don't like volleyball, I think this is better than like the boxing. What am I blanking on? No Hippo.
Hajime no Ippo.
Hajime no Ippo. I think it's better than Slam Dunk. I legit think this is the best sports anime ever made. It's like my number 6 all-time show. So if that says anything about how much I love Haikyuu, obviously I'm fanboying about it, but anybody who's interested in Haikyuu or has watched Haikyuu knows how like is squealing with glee over season 4.
Alrighty, well that sounds like nothing but promising for next season. Next up on the docket, Plunderer is the first new series that we'll be taking a look at. The description from my anime list of this series is: in a post-apocalyptic world dominated by the so-called numbers, each human will have their identity branded on them with a count, which could define any number relating to their life. May it be one's walked distance or the amount of compliments given to them by others, this count could lead them to the abyss when it drops to 0. In the year 305 of the Elassian calendar, Hina has inherited a mission from her mother, whose count depreciated to 0, to search for a legendary Red Baron. In her adventure, she meets a half-masked swordsman named Lick, who tries to hide his identity as he is known as a degenerate for having an incredibly low count. So I watched the PV of this, and I'm not sure whether this is going to be a terrible show or a great one. It's one of those ones that I have mixed feelings on from watching the preview of it. But I liked the animation of it. It looked pretty cool, like a overpowered main character type of series. If you like that OP badass character protecting the girl, that's this type of series. Were you gonna give this one a watch at all?
I have it on my plan to watch. It kind of, I'm just basing this off of the like cover picture. It kind of looks like, because one of the tags is ecchi, so I went with an ecchi Assassin's Pride. Is kind of like what I was getting off of like the vibe from the cover art.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, episode 1 is available on YouTube. They did something weird with the show.
Funimation aired the first 2 episodes, which threw me off because I saw a clip on YouTube of just on my recommended show or recommended channels, and it had some cheesy line. I'm like, okay, whatever. I clicked and watched it. I'm like, wait, isn't this Plunderer? Like, I didn't think this show was out yet. So I had to go and do a deep dive and figure out where the heck this was, because it was a full episode.
Yeah.
That someone had just stolen from the page and like posted on their own YouTube channel. So yeah, the first 2 episodes have been streamed on Funimation's YouTube channel, and like January 9th, the regular broadcasting is going to begin for it. So
yeah, so this is one of those shows where like I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch the first 2 episodes right now. Like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I give almost every single show a chance, even if, especially like just basing this off of the PV or the cover art. This is not typically something that I like go out and watch, but I have been surprised in the past. So something like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I thought that show was going to be pure trash, and I ended up really liking it. So
that was a good one, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from like the ecchi moments of it. Is that something along those lines, maybe a little like less tame and more dark in terms of the like content of the world's a lot more dark and like disturbing.
Yep.
But I like the idea of the count that they have in here, where it's like this number that every time something happens to you, this number drops until you just hit 0 and die.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like an interesting premise. If they do it well, it could be interesting. But you know, they could also just completely drop the ball on it.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch it because right now we kind of have that down period where a lot of shows are like wrapping up, and we get like 7 to 10 days of like no new anime. So right now I'm using that to like catch up on some previous shows that I missed out on, and I'll save this show for later since we really don't have that many shows this season that I'm excited for. So I'm gonna use my free time then to watch shows like Plunderer.
Yeah, same here. It's one of those, I'll take it or leave it. Hopefully it'll be better than I'm expecting it to be.
I'm always excited for shows that like catch me off guard. So Plunderer, I hope you're the one. I doubt it, but I'm still crossing my fingers. Next up, we have a show that we both watched from previous seasons, or last year, I don't remember. Sometime in 2019. We both watched it. That's the 2nd season of Isekai Quartet. And this season, we get the addition of the Rising of the Shield Hero. We get Raphtalia, Philo, and Naofumi. Isekai Quartet is nominated for 2 Anime of the Years in our voting. So if you like Isekai Quartet the first season a lot, you can vote for it for Best Isekai and Best Comedy. And it's a show that I generally like really, really liked. And I'm glad that our community voted for this as one of the best isekais and comedies for 2019. And I'm hoping to continue that edition in 2020. Adam, do you have any thoughts about Isekai Quartet Season 2?
Yeah, I'm just glad that people voted for it because it's a short, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it's about 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's a 12-minute, it's a short, and it's one of the ones I came back to each week, and I really liked when I finally decided to dive into it. I think I dove in about episode when like 6 episodes were out, and And those last 6, the moment they came out, I had to watch them because they were just the best 12 minutes I could be doing, or best thing I could be doing with 12 minutes of my time. It was so funny. I loved them.
Yeah, between Isekai, Quartet, and We Are Lost, those were by far the best 2 shorts of 2019. I don't know which one I like better. They're both like neck and neck, and I both love the comedy in both. But it's one of these shows where, like, if you have 12 minutes to kill, this might be one of the best shorts ever made. And especially if you're a fan of the other shows that are involved with this. It's just a great combination of all these shows coming together and just providing content that we didn't know we wanted.
And the way they interact, I thought was really interesting too, because they keep their characters, like, personalities and, like, as they were ripped from whatever world they were in, and you see, like, how those, like, personalities would interact with other characters from the Isekai. I'm trying to remember the exact situation, but they had
Are you talking about Subaru and Kazuma's interaction by any chance?
The Subaru and Kazuma interaction when they're like talking about how terrible their lives are because of being trapped in this other world, and Kazuma just like starts to realize that Subaru, or he thinks Subaru doesn't have it nearly as bad as he does, and he like basically makes him his like rival because he's like living the good life from his perspective.
It's honestly one of the funniest. It's one of the funniest bits / skets of 2019. I thought it was just genius because they were talking about like because Subaru's like, oh, I have to live in this harem in this mansion, and Kazuma's like, what are you talking about? Like, you think your life sucks? Like, you don't know nothing. And
try living in a stable with a useless goddess who just gets in the way all the time.
Yeah, because they're essentially the same character, just in different shows, and just like one. How their interactions evolve in their shows is just how they change as people. So it's just a great coming together of just like amazing characters that I didn't know I wanted. Like Overlord and Tanya's interaction, they become like best friends. Ainz and Tanya. What a great interaction. They become best friends. They're just both like evil masterminds. They're like, yeah, we are both evil masterminds. We should be friends. Just a great coming together show, and this is one of these shows that I can't wait to watch the second season. And with the addition of the Rising of the Shield Hero, I'm hoping it's just going to be that much better.
Yeah, he kind of plays like a middle ground between it because his outward personality, he's trying to pretend to be that like hardened, I don't give a damn about the world, I'm doing this all for profit. But deep down on the inside, you know he's just like a softie. Yeah. So I wonder kind of where he's going to go. Is he going to like lean towards like that like badass with the heart of gold like side like with like Tanya and Ainz, or is he gonna like just join the other group and be part of their little entourage? It'll be interesting.
And I'm also interested because all of these shows are getting additional content except for Overlord. So I'm wondering at the end of this show if we're going to get an Overlord announcement, because I'm going to assume we're getting season 4 of Overlord.
I mean, it left off in a place that could, definitely leaves room for more to be added. I don't know why we wouldn't get an announcement soon.
And they have the content for a 4th season, so just waiting to see what we get. We got confirmed ReZero for 2020. We got confirmed. I guess it's not technically confirmed, but I can probably assume we're probably going to get season 2 of The Rising of the Shield Hero in 2020, and then maybe we'll get Overlord season 4 in 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad estimate. So next up on the docket, we have Inspector. It's another new series starting off this season. At the young age of 11, Kotoko Iwanaga was abducted by the yokai for 2 weeks and asked to become their god of wisdom, a mediator between the spirit and human worlds, to which the girl quickly agreed, but at the cost of her right eye and left leg. Now, 6 years later, whenever yokai wish for their problems to be solved, they make their way to Kotoko for consultation. Meanwhile, Kuryo Sakuragawa, a 22-year-old university student, has just broken up with his girlfriend after he fled away when the two encountered a kappa. Seeing this as her chance to become closer to him, Kotoko immediately makes her move, hoping to get married to Kuryo one day. However, she quickly realizes there's something more to him. With this knowledge, she asks for his help in solving various issues presented by the supernatural, all while wishing for a newfound partner will eventually reciprocate her feelings. So, what I'm getting from this synopsis, I haven't watched anything from it, but there's a couple of PVs that are up right now. It's a romance, like supernatural, kind of like along the lines of what the original like Yu Yu Hakusho was kind of going to be. Did you watched the first part of Yu Yu Hakusho, Spirit Detective?
That is correct.
Where he's like kind of like a mediator between the spirit world and the human world. It's basically what this young girl's job is. She's kind of that mediator between the two worlds, but with like a romance comedy aspect to it as well.
And Yu Yu Hakusho did have like low-key romance and it had a good amount of comedy in it, so just those genres together, definitely like going to give it a chance. I think this is one of those shows that can definitely catch me off guard. It's made by Brian's Base, which does a lot of shows that I thoroughly enjoy, so I'm assuming the animations are going to be on point for this show.
They've done things like My Team Romantic Comedy, Snafu, and Durarara.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is one of the newer ones that I have up at the higher end of like my expectations. I feel like this one is probably going to be better than the last one that we talked about, Plunderer. I don't know, just looking at the cover, I just feel like there's more heart to it. So
yeah, there's also just not a lot of information about it, so it's one of those shows where we're going to probably have to check it out to actually get a grasp on what we're actually expecting from it, because sometimes they throw out tags that don't necessarily mean what it actually is, because they have like mystery down as a genre, and I'm not entirely sure like what mystery can be so vague. Like, are they solving crimes, or are they like looking for clues? I don't know. So I'll jump into it. I will definitely be watching the show, at least the first 3 episodes type of thing. And I just hope like the animations are on point, the characters are cool. I like the little like actually she looks little, but I don't think she actually is little in the show.
Well, it starts out where she's 11, but then the series picks up 6 years later, so she's 17.
Okay, yeah, lollies confuse me sometimes about how old they are, so...
I mean, there's an entire game we could play, like, guess the lolly's age. Like, it's a mystery to everyone, even if you watch anime.
Yeah, let's not play that game, but it's definitely a show that I'm gonna look forward to, and hope it just... I'm setting the bar low, I'll put it that way, so... If it can exceed a little bit of my expectations, I'll definitely enjoy it. Alright, next up we have Somali and the Forest Spirit. The world is ruled by spirits, goblins, and all manners of strange creatures. Human beings are being persecuted to the point of very extinction. One day, a golem and a lone human girl meet. So, there's not really a whole lot of information about this. I saw the PV, and I saw the still shots of it, and the show looks breathtaking. This show looks unbelievable in terms of animation style. Its genres are adventure, slice of life, and fantasy, and that sounds like Made in Abyss type of style for me, and I love Made in Abyss. I don't think we're gonna get action. I think this is gonna be strictly slice of life between the interaction between like this golem and this little girl who has like a chain around her neck. She might be like, I don't know, a runaway or something like that. So I really, really, really enjoy like these adventure slice of life stories. Like my 2018 winner of Anime of the Year, A Place Further Than the Universe, was slice of life adventure. So I'm a sucker for these types of genres. So I'm really looking forward to this show. I don't know, Adam, if you have any interest in seeing this one, but it definitely caught my eye.
It caught my eye for a bit. I'm kind of on the fence about whether I'll watch it or not. I was gonna put it on the back burner, but we don't have all that much on the docket for this season, so it might be one I just pick out of like, you know, sheer boredom, because there isn't anything else to really watch. Especially if I drop a couple shows, then I would have no reason not to pick it up.
Yeah, because I'm guessing, because it kind of happened this last season, where we have like a stack of shows on a specific day, where maybe this show is like that one show that happens on a Tuesday and you need a new show to watch on Tuesday. So that's kind of what I'm hoping this show gets. That way more people are exposed to it. I honestly have no idea what streaming sites this is going to be on. I don't think Crunchyroll announced it for their winter lineup. I can look real quick, but I have not heard where it's landing. So I'm hoping it's like either. Funimation. It kind of looks like a Funimation show.
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head either. I didn't look too much into it.
And I'm on my work laptop, so of course Crunchyroll's blocked, so I can't look it up right now. So hopefully, if people are into like slice of life adventure animes, like honestly, I think this one looks unbelievable just based off the PV and the cover art. So if that's your style, can't recommend maybe watching this, if that makes any sense of how I'm putting it.
All right, Darwin's Game is next on our list. My anime list has it described as an unknowing pseudo kaname is invited to try out a new mysterious mobile app called Darwin's Game, but later realizes that he's in for more than he's bargained for when he finds out that there's no way to quit the game. So from reading up a little bit about this, it seems like it's I'm trying to remember the name, a King's Game style show, in the way that like they're all playing this app and
the King's Avatar.
No.
Oh no, not that one.
No, the King's Game is
where you grab the sticks
to do something or you die.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So it's like a survival game, I guess is what I was looking for.
Gotcha.
But King's Game was an absolute garbage series that I wanted to be good, that I absolutely detested.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it was so bad. And I'm really hoping this is better. It's being done by Aniplex, which I love the stuff Aniplex does. So I'm hoping it's better than what we've gotten from previous series like it. But we'll find out. It looks like, but like I said, it looks like some kind of like supernatural mystery survival.
Is this an isekai? I can't really. I'm just basing it off the cover.
I don't think it's an isekai. It might actually be an isekai.
Okay.
I didn't watch the PV, but like just from the description, it sounded like it was a survival thing. I could watch the thing quick and find out.
I mean, I have just like looking at the cover art, and honestly, just looks like bland bitch protagonist and cute girl. So like honestly, it does nothing for me.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like a supernatural, like murder horror style look to it. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, the cover art looks like the picture of a hentai, so I don't know what we're getting. I don't know. I'm gonna pass on Darwin's Game unless you tell me otherwise. Maybe it'll pull
I expect this to be absolute garbage.
Yeah,
I'm hoping against hope that it's not. I'm just clicking through the PV right now, and they're like sitting on a train, and then there's on the dude's phone, I'm assuming the app's open, there's like a baseball mascot with like a panda head holding like some kind of like a chef's knife, like he's gonna murder someone, and on the other side of the train is that exact panda, but he's holding a cell phone instead. So I'm just gonna guess that panda's gonna try to murder him, and he's got to survive.
Yeah.
He's swinging the knife at him. So it's like whatever happens on their phone is happening inside the real world, and they have to be the last one alive. Some type of King's Game style shit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll wait in here, but that does not a lot for me. Especially
it's
how
my guess is I'm
King's
not going
Game
to like
was. Alright, next up we have Heya Camp, which is a spin-off of one of the greatest slice of lifes ever made, Yuru Camp / Laidback Camp, however you want to pronounce it. There's not a whole lot of information. I think it's more of, if I take a guess, this is probably going to be a short. It's going to be based around 3 characters, like 3 of the main characters. Nadeshiko, Chiaki, and Aoi, I think her name is. We're not going to get a lot of Rin-chan, I'm assuming, but if you loved Laidback Camp like I do, and I recommend it to every single person who likes slice of life because it's one of the best slice of lifes ever made, I guess check it out once we get more information. All we know is it's coming in 2020, and it's probably just going to be cute girls camping again, so we'll probably get more information as the show gets closer. I'm assuming this is going to be on Crunchyroll because it was such a huge... Laidback Camp was such a huge like feature on Crunchyroll in 2018, so I'm sure they're going to promote the hell out of this show. And we are getting Laidback Camp Season 2 for 2020. Still no word about it. And I believe we're also getting a movie in 2020. Still no word about that. So this is probably just more of like an Isekai Quartet type of thing where we're just going to get additional content of the show, but it's not the actual show. So looking forward to Heya Camp. Adam hasn't watched Slice of Life, or not Slice of Life, Laid Back Camp yet, and I tell him like every episode that he should watch it. And yeah, so if that's your thing, check out Laid Back Camp and then watch Heya Camp.
All right, Infinite Dendrogram is the next one that I'll be checking out. This is I'm just gonna skip the synopsis because there's not a lot to really say about it. It's about a VR MMO game that main character, his older brother, and his older brother's partner, as they call it. I don't know if it's his boyfriend or his older brother's girlfriend or something, but they all play it and they are having a basically a full dive experience inside the game. They doesn't say whether this is a like mystery like S or trapped in the game like SAO. I don't think it is. I think it's just a people having fun inside an MMO, a slice of life style fantasy adventure. Um, this is my I'm gonna call it an Isekai, but I guess it's not technically, but it's scratching that same type of itch for me.
I like MMO style like shows. If it's, I know it's not the isekai version, but if it's anything like how Log Horizon did MMOs, I might actually watch the show, even though it looks terrible, just based off like the cover art. But that concept, I like games, I like MMOs, so I'll maybe give this a shot. Do you have like any information like where it's streaming by any chance?
I don't know where it's streaming at the moment. I could take a quick look.
Because I literally have not heard of this show until you put it on the list. So I have
Yeah.
no idea what it's about.
Let's take a look. I see a news article on it at Crunchyroll, so I think it's going to be over there.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it seems like just people playing an MMO together. I'm sure there's going to be your usual drama that comes in, but it's not like a life or death thing. Just kind of a slice of life drama built in an MMO environment.
Got it. All right, next up we have Dorohedoro. I probably fucked that up, but Dorohedoro. All right,
Oh,
but
you got that's right.
all right, sweet. Okay, because English is not my best subject, so I'm just hopefully people don't get mad at me about that. But this show is about, it's like a class system of two people. There's like magic users and non-magic users, and the magic users essentially rule the world, and they like do experiments and stuff on like the lower class. And the main character is a lizard man who is like searching for answers from these like higher class magic users, and it kind of looks from like, I guess it depends on like what cover art you're looking at, because the one I'm using for stream, it looks happy and kind of like post-apocalyptic, but it is a horror comedy. So there's a lot of like wholesome content along with gruesome carnage. So it is a very strange mix between the two. Um, Kind of like last season. I know you didn't watch it, but there's a show called No Guns Life, where it's kind of
Yep.
like not post-apocalyptic, but really like run down like class system of like people who have like add-ons to their body or not. This kind of has like the same thing instead of add-ons. It's magic. I know the people who have read the manga absolutely love the manga. Like they'll defend it to death. So they're really hoping for a really good anime adaptation for it. And I'm really looking forward to it just based off of the hype of the manga readers that I know who have read it. So I like comedy, I like action. This is definitely going to be grown up like action, not Dragon Ball Z, but more like Devilman Crybaby. So we're gonna get like a whole mix of like emotions and range of genres. So I'm really looking forward to Dorohedoro. I think this could be like one of those sleeper hits. Don't think it's going to be like a Devilman Crybaby in terms of like how big it's going to be, but I think this is gonna be one of those shows that like people are gonna be talking about, like one of those like sleeper hits of 2020.
Yeah, I was here. The things that you're talking about, the fans defending it and wanting a really good anime adaptation. If I get into it, it's going to be because of that. Word of mouth goes really far for me, and though the genres don't really speak to me so much, like I'm not really into the dark, like post-apocalypse style settings in my shows. Hearing that people like love this series to death, like I have been surprised and enjoyed shows outside my wheelhouse. So
Yep.
That would be what gets me into it, is the praise that it's getting.
And Mappa is doing the animations, and Mappa has been on point for the last couple years. So I'm just going to assume, and I've seen the PV, and the PV looks nice. I'm just going to assume that this show's going to be pretty well polished, not going to be choppy. I think they're going to put some good work into it, and I just hope the adaptation lives up to its name.
All right, the next series we got is from Silverlink, the people behind Baka to Test, Strike the Blood, Kokoro Connect, and Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Some of the shows I really enjoyed. I hate being in pain, so I think I'll make a full defense build. This series is about a girl who dives into a VR MMO called New World Online as the character Maple. Lacking knowledge of the game, she allocates all her skill points in defense because she doesn't want to feel the pain that comes with being in a full dive MMO. And the best way to not feel pain is just to max out your defense. So she becomes a walking mobile fortress. It seems like it's going to be a funny comedy. Again, it's set in a genre that I absolutely love. I love MMO series. I love MMO games. So it's set up to be, for me to be a perfect fit. I'm not expecting it to be a masterpiece or anything, but it looks like a fun, cute girls doing cute things in an MMO.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it until today. The cover art kind of like iffy, but I just watched the girl like Isekai. Did I say to make my abilities average?
Yep.
And I like that a little bit more than I thought I would. So I'm kind of leaning more towards I will watch this show.
This one strikes me like it's going to be a better series than that one. Like
Okay.
that one's all right to me, but I don't know. I think this idea is just a little bit more grounded.
Yeah,
Where she's not going to be so overpowered, but she's going to be overpowered in one very, very specific way, which doesn't make her like some kind of god.
sure. Yeah, it definitely has like the properties of a show that I would enjoy. So I'll give it a shot. Like I said below, I haven't heard of it until today, so I don't know like how much press it's going to get and how popular this show is going to be. So
I heard about this from a friend of mine, Matt, who's he's a big gamer and big anime fan at UMD. He was actually he was president of the anime club for my first year. I was up there. And then I think he was like co-president the year after that. But he was talking about how this is like one of the ones he was really looking forward to that's gotten a lot of buzz. So hopefully it's good. I take his recommendations well because he normally doesn't lead me astray. So hopefully it'll be a good one.
All right, if not, Matt, your recommendations are cut off from the rest of the show. Next one, I cannot wait for this show. I'm not even trying to pronounce the Japanese name, but the English name is Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. It's about two scientists who want to find out if love can be solved by scientific theory. The two scientists have feelings for each other and want to be able to solve their feelings through theoretical facts. Now, I love adult-based animes, or romance animes.
Yep.
The last real one we had really was like Wotakoi, Love is Hard for an Otaku, and I love that show. So
Yep.
I'm really hoping this is like Wotakoi good. Just anything that gets me out of high school romance. I cannot wait for it, and I cannot wait for the show. I love the premise. The cover art looks really good. Like the two characters, you can kind of get an idea. I can kind of get an idea of what the two characters are going to be like, and I like that a lot. It's just one of those shows where as soon as I like read it, I saw that it was not about teenagers. I was immediately on board. So definitely looking forward to this. I don't know where it's streaming. I'm assuming it's gonna be like Crunchyroll because I think it's kind of popular. It's a web novel though, not like. So I don't know how much content there is. I don't know if this is going to be a short. I don't know anything about that. So
I hope it's, well, not that I have anything against shorts, but I hope it's not because romance shows I want to be drawn out. Like, yeah. I hope it gets a full like 12 episodes at the very least. But I'm absolutely, this is right up there with Isekai Quartet. I think it's my number one most wanted show of the season. Isekai Quartet slightly behind it. But
if it wasn't for Haikyuu,
100%.
this would be my number one.
Yeah, this is for sure the show that I'm following the second it pops out because it looks right up my wheelhouse.
Yes, please make more romance anime around adults. Funny story, just real quick snippet. They're coming out with it's in 2020. I forgot what it's called, but it's a romance anime around grandparents, and I cannot wait for that anime.
Oh, what? I haven't even heard of this.
Yes,
Now I'm really interested in
I
hearing
have
more
never
about
heard of
that.
that concept. I love what they're doing with it. I can't wait. If I'll post it on Twitter if I find the link or something like that. But grandparents anime looks fantastic.
All right. So yeah, that's one that I'm extremely looking forward to. And then the final one for me is going to be Sorcerous Stabber Orphen. This looks like another what was it, Assassin's Pride, but with a completely different art style. The premise behind it: a sorcerer who was once the top student of the famous Tower of Fang now spends his time chasing after hopeless clients as a moneylender, at least until his client comes up with a plan to make money. Marriage fraud. Unwillingly being dragged into the plan, Orphen encounters a monster who has long been his goal since the day he left the Tower of Fang. Between those who seek to kill the monster and Orphen, giving everything to protect the monster, his lousy but peaceful days end trying to turn back his sister, Azalea, back to her true form leads to many more mysteries and the key to the secret to the world. So that sounds like extremely convoluted nonsense. What I got from it was a mix between Assassin's Pride and Demon Slayer. It's a main character who's some kind of badass moneylender hitman who's trying to turn his sister back from being a demon. That's what I got from it, and I love Demon Slayer. I really enjoyed Assassin's Pride, which we'll talk about more next episode. But I'm willing to give this one a shot because it seems like it's a crossing two shows I enjoyed.
I have two problems with this show. One, I believe this is a remake from a previous. I mean, the manga's from like the 80s, I believe, and they've already had two different adaptations of the anime. I think like in the 80s and 90s that don't have that great of ratings. And second of all, it's made by Studio Dean, who has been sucking ass lately. I don't know if you've seen the clips of the new Seven Deadly Sins season 3, but they are doing a terrible job at like fights and those style of animations. So
Well, if it's something that I can trash, then it'll give me something to badmouth next season.
okay, but this is one of those shows where I looked it up for like a quick second. I'm like, nope. I hate I just say I hate everything about it, but like just based off like it's like ratings from the public and Studio Dean. I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've try not to let who's making it influence me too much, but I wouldn't say it doesn't happen from time to time. Studio Dean doesn't have the greatest track record, though they have done
No,
some good things.
I'm
I
honestly
mean,
surprised they're still in business.
I mean, they've done Konosuba, they did Lock Horizon second season.
No, well, they also
So
did Seven Deadly Sins. Did they do the original Fate Stay Night, which was just
yeah,
atrocious?
Studio Dean was the other.
Ugh,
I
yeah.
I wouldn't go with
All
atrocious,
right, they got some hits, they got
but
some misses.
they did Higurashi.
Never
That
saw it.
that okay, Higurashi is really good. I
Okay.
like Higurashi. That's like an 8.5, 9 on my scale.
Damn.
But
Okay. All right. Last but not least, we have the disastrous life of Saiki K restart arc, which I am absolutely shocked that this show is getting additional season because the show ended, and then I think Netflix bought the rights to this show because
yep,
this is an ONA, so this is original content, not from the manga or anything like that. I love Saiki K. It is one of the best, if not the best, like comedy series. I also have not seen Gintama, so I can't say anything. But I put this like up there with Konosuba about how funny the show is. Uh, like strictly comedy, this show is like I pissed my pants laughing season one. Season one I have a 10 out of 10 on. That's how good I like the show. So very intrigued by this show. Trending now on TikTok, Arby's is doing a promotional campaign with this show, which was really weird to see.
Yeah.
And they're also like posting like memes about like the Arby's Twitter page is posting like memes about this show. So I'm like really confused why
But
Saiki K,
isn't
Arby's, and
Arby's,
Netflix have this like partnership. I don't know.
isn't Arby's the one, the Twitter account though, that goes through and they are constantly posting anime stuff?
Yes, but they
Like they're
don't post
cutting up
like
their
they don't
boxes
post
and
TikTok
TV
videos of animes. They
Okay, that's fair. I don't use TikTok. I don't know anything going
Okay,
on.
it's like the most
TikTok is.
cringeworthy like video. Like it's super dumb, but the fact that Arby's is promoting Saiki K is just super weird to me. But anyway, if you like comedy, you should watch Saiki K. It's brilliant. It's on Netflix and like Crunchyroll. It has a sub and a dub. It's like 3 seasons.
How is the dub? Do you know?
It's I watched it. I watched like the first 5 episodes. I'd say it's fine. I think the sub is amazing. I would definitely recommend watching it in sub. I give dubs a chance, just the sub is way better in this particular one. So, if you like comedy anime, if you like hijinks and random ass like storylines, this is like one of the best shows I've ever seen. All right, so that's our wrap up our preview, and as always, to end the segment with me and Adam, we're gonna play Anime 20 Questions. So this
Woot.
time, what?
I said woot.
Oh, I thought you said what?
Ready.
I thought you were like surprised that we were doing this. I'm like, So this time, I'm going to be guessing, and Adam is going to be picking the anime. So Adam, whenever you are ready, we can play.
Just type it in here real quick, and then just give me. I'm gonna mute my mic just so you don't hear how long it is.
Okay, so it's a light novel. So if people aren't aware, we do this every time. I think our records are pretty even. We had one controversial episode when Overlord was the answer. So I don't remember which episode was that, but it's a fun game that we play.
Like a third game or something.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was fun. It was definitely one of the more entertaining episodes, or 20 questions we had done.
Absolutely.
All right, but I got it up. I got it ready. Whenever you want to go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a hint. Is this adaptation based off of a light novel?
I'd like to know that myself. Let me go find out if it is.
Clickety clack. As you can tell, we are prepared and ready for this podcast.
I believe it is.
It is a light novel.
Yes, it is based on a light novel.
All right. And
there.
as always, the favorite second question, is it an isekai?
No, it is not an isekai.
Not an isekai. Okay. Did this anime come out after 2010?
Yes.
Is it a shonen?
It's not listed as a shonen.
Not
but
listed as a shonen. Okay.
It would definitely fall into that demographic, but it's not technically listed there.
Not technically listed. Okay, is it like action based?
No.
Oh, okay. Is it a romance anime?
Yes.
It's a romance light novel. How many romance light novels do we have? Unless you're trying to like trick me. Oh no, it already has an anime at it because it came out after 2010. Okay. Romance anime novel. Does it have a sequel?
It does not. Was that 6 or 7?
We are on 7.
Okay.
Does it take place in a high school?
Yes.
Let's see. It's not listed as a shonen, but it could fall into that category. It's not action. And it's a visual novel? Okay. Not visual novel. Sorry, light novel. Let's see. Is the main character a boy? Or sorry, the main protagonist.
Yes.
Um, is it a harem?
Mm, I'm gonna say no with a caveat that there are many female characters, but it's one primarily romantic interest.
Okay.
The other characters are not romantically interested in the main character.
Okay. You said this wasn't Isekai, but is it fantasy setting?
No,
Okay, so it
no.
takes place in a high school in like real life off of a light novel. Is there like any magic involved?
To an extent, yes,
Okay.
but I'm gonna say yes, but I'm really. It could be argued either way.
Okay. So that's 10. Um hmm. Does it have more than does it have more than one like core?
No,
Okay, so it's a 12 episode show. Light novel. Romance that takes place in a school. It's not fantasy or isekai related. Man, is it a movie?
no.
So that's 12.
Like, there's one thing that'll pretty much give this one away once you figure it out.
Is it an ecchi?
Yes.
Ooh. And okay, ecchi light novel. Romance takes place at school. It's not action. Is it a comedy?
Yes.
Ecchi comedy romance takes place in school based off of a light novel. So that's 13. Okay, so it doesn't have a fantasy setting. Did I say something about like magic? I already forgot.
You asked about magic, and there is magic, but only kind of.
Okay, do like people like swap bodies?
No.
Damn it. I had two guesses in that.
Yeah. I see where you were going with it, but no.
Okay. Um Ecchi, not fantasy, light novel. Ecchi, um it doesn't take place in a fantasy world? Man. What? I'm trying to think of.
There's one key thing that'll kind of. Yeah.
Man, I'm just stuck on the.
You're on the right track, but there's a certain little twist that you need to think of.
Okay. Comedy, romance. Takes place in school, light novel, and it's just like normal. Um. I'm just gonna, because I have one in my mind, and I just want to get out of the way. Is it prison school?
No.
Okay, so that's 16.
Maybe you're not on as right of a track as I thought you were.
Okay. Oh, yes. I mean, there's not really. You said there's like kind of magic elements to it.
I mean, there's something that you would say, yes, that is absolutely magic, but you could also take a technical answer and be like, it's not technically magic.
I'm just hung up. I'm just trying to think of like ecchi romance comedies that take place in school, and it's not a harem
Not a harem per se,
per se. So they're
but there's a main character who is surrounded by females with one girl who is very obviously interested in him, and he's very obviously interested in her. And the other girls are just kind of supporting cast.
the only ones I can think that are like that have fantasy elements in them. I
mean, there's elements, but
okay. Well, how about this?
Once you figure out one thing, it completely makes sense.
Is there like a tournament arc in the show?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a tournament arc in this show.
I'm just gonna guess. Is it the Asterisk Wars?
No.
Okay. Is it Chivalry of a Failed Knight?
No.
Okay.
Where are we at? Like
that's 19. That's 19.
Oh. Oh wow.
I guess. Okay, so I got one more guess. Give me a second here, because this is my final guess.
Oh yeah, take your time.
It could be classified as magic. There's a tournament arc, but it's not action. Why did I guess those two?
There's action in it, but like 90% of the show is not.
Oh, okay.
There is one thing there's little small bits of action sprinkled in, but the majority of it is just romance comedy with a C plot of action, if you will.
A C plot of action.
It's not even the B plot.
Okay, so it sounds like this is a show that I should know the answer to.
I know you've seen this show. Or have at least heard of this show. I'm pretty sure you have seen this show.
Ecchi romance. Takes place in a school. There's like 10% action.
90% comedy, romance, high school crap. Not crap, but stuff.
It could.
There is a specific theme that you're completely missing out on.
Well, I only have one guess, so I have to guess because I'm leaning towards a few things because like the action could be considered something different. Not like fighting. Ecchi. That definitely has magic in it.
I'll say this: they definitely say what's happening is magic, but it's not really magic. I'll say this: I love this show, and I have the show on my shelf, and I have a mouse pad of the show.
Okay, because like I was thinking like, well, we already did that show. I think the one where like he has to like get a girlfriend and then he like reverts back.
Yeah, it's not
But we already did that one.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Okay, because I'm leaning towards like Food. No, Food Wars is a manga. I'm just going to guess. Hold on.
If you want to ask a question to try to narrow down what that topic is, I'll let you give your answer after that. If you want to try to figure out what the key thing you're missing is.
The thing is I'm blanking on what this key thing is, so I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to guess doesn't take place in a fantasy. It could be considered magic. It's like 10% action. I've heard of this show, and it has a tournament arc. What shows have tournament arcs and are ecchis? That's what.
Oh man.
Tournament arc, ecchi. Okay, that's the two things that I need to put together: tournament arc and ecchi.
The tournament arc is so much different than you're gonna think it is.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to guess. No, I don't know if that takes place in high school though, or school.
Well, this one most certainly takes place in a high school.
Because I haven't seen the show.
Okay.
And it's what I have in mind. It probably takes place. I'm just gonna take a guess. Is it Kaijo?
No.
Damn it. What's
It
the
was,
answer?
and you thought there is never a girl online.
I fucking hate that show.
I know you've seen it.
Oh my god. There's a tournament arc in that show?
Yeah, the last like 4 episodes is a PvP battle tournament where their guild has to hold off an invading guild from a castle for like 48 hours.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Just for reference, that is my second or third lowest raised anime I've completed ever.
I love that show.
I think that show is it's like of my completed anime, it's that and Arrow Manga Sensei are like my two
I love
lowest
Arrow
ranked.
Manga Sensei too.
Well, you're trash. You're trash.
Arrow Manga Sensei, man, I love that series.
You always give me the hard ones.
Gross.
Okay,
I
well,
didn't think that was that hard. I really didn't.
okay. In your defense, I have seen that show, and if I had,
if you could have figured out that it's based around video games, I think it would have helped you out a lot.
yeah, okay, because like normally when I think of like if I'm missing the key thing, it's like it's a sport or something, and so I just want like, okay, well if it's a sport, it's an ecchi, it has a tournament arc. I'm like maybe Kaijo has a tournament arc. I don't know. I've never seen the show.
I'm sure it does. I haven't seen Kaijo.
Okay, that's okay. You know what? I'm not mad because I've seen the show. I just didn't think of it because that show is trash. And
I love Akko. She's fucking adorable.
oh, she's a terrible character.
Oh, I love her.
She is a terrible character.
She can dote over me any day.
Yeah, I bet you would like that. Okay, well,
I would.
well, that wraps up Anime 20 Questions, and that wraps up the podcast. Thanks again for tuning in. If you like what you're hearing, please consider leaving a comment, liking, or subscribing based off whatever platform you're using, as it helps the continued growth of our channel. If you're on Twitter, please follow us at What Do You Say Annie. That's What Do You Say ANI on Twitter. In the comment sections, voting for Anime of the Year is up and running, and you will have until January 18th to cast your votes. I also made a promo video of it that's like 8 minutes long, and you should check it out because it took me like 10 hours to make, and I'm really proud of it. So that's exclusive to YouTube only, so if you're listening on a different platform, check out our YouTube page. It's just What Do You Say Anime. Thank you once again, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one.